Hello again, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and today we're going to do a special edition. And this one was kind of brought on by a recent video by Pinball and Pinball Preparedness. If you don't know who that is, I encourage you to go check him out. But he did a video on the 1 minute drill. And so I decided that I wanted to not only test myself in that thing, and we'll get into depth on that, but I also wanted to do a video kind of similar to it called Are You LARPing? Are you really doing this for real, or are you just pretending because it's fun and cool? So I decided to dress up and get in the most ridiculous outfit that I can. So here's me in a 1 minute drill. Could I get all this on and get out the door in 1 minute? No. This is probably going to take me longer than a minute to go through and get all this off. So let me go ahead and continue explaining as I remove some of this ridiculous stuff. I tried to, if you can see, you'll see as I go through everything, I tried to throw on the most ridiculous stuff that I could, so that way maybe I can get all the trolls at once in one video. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to put the shotgun down in the AR platform, because I didn't want to show off my AR, but for the AR people, maybe this will make you happy. Otherwise, hey trolls, have fun with this. Go ahead and put that down over here. None of my camo matches, so I'm sure that people is going to have a bunch of fun with that. And then as I move around, as you can see, bumping all my stuff all over, because of course this would be completely ridiculous to try and bug out in. So now let me take my rifle out, place that off to the side, and then of course you gotta take your other sidearm out, put these down. These are clear, these are safe. And then we start cleaning everything else off. So you start taking your oversized, really heavy excuse me, bug out bag with way too much stuff dangling off of it. Again, I had to do what I could to make it look as ridiculous as possible. Then of course you gotta take off the LARPing vest. I bought this for a couple of different reasons. No, this is not my bug out vest, but I did it for, or I put it on for the specific reason to go through and make this video. And then of course, I don't know if you can see it, but we do have the leg holsters on. And sure, we'll go ahead and clear it, show you everything's all safe. So now we'll go through and we'll take our backup ammo belt off. Of course, that's a nice heavy thing, so good luck running and traversing with that thing while you're running for your life. Then we'll go through and we'll take our leg holsters off and all that. So that way, that's all done. Put that off to the side. There you go. I'm sure that took longer than a minute to get all that off. So really what I want to do, I'm going to put this hat back on. Kind of like this hat. When I first watched Pinball's video, and he said, I challenge everybody to do the 1 minute drill, and I was sitting there thinking in the wrong sense. I was going, if you have literally 1 minute to get out of the house tactically, you probably already failed. If you don't have enough notice that you've only got 60 seconds to gather every important thing in your life and get out because of some tactical disadvantage, then you've already failed. It's going to take you, even if you grab nothing at all, or you grab one thing, it's going to take you longer than a minute to grab one item or whatever, get out of the house, off your property, and down to safety. It's going to take you longer than a minute. And I was like, I disagree with this. And then I got to thinking, because I, was watching the video and really kind of doing my best to pay attention and take it from a different angle. And I took it wrong, and I apologize for that for him. But it is, there are things that's going to happen that you do have that, less than a minute. You wake up to the smoke alarm going off, and you have less than a minute. There's all sorts of things different natural disasters. You're in your home, it's raining, all that. All of a sudden, tornado siren, you glance out, you see, really, really bad tornadoes right in your path. You got less than a minute, okay? I mean, I was really kind of taking that whole video wrong. And Pinball, if you watch this, I apologize. I will post a link to his video down in the description section, so that way you can go see it. It's a really good, really well-made video. He puts a lot of thought into it. Make sure that you open your mind when you watch it, so that way you get the full benefit what the point is that he's trying to get across. I went about it in a playful manner. I hope he doesn't mind that. But when you go through and you look at all this, he brings up a really great point. Have you done a bug out like you have done a fire drill? If you haven't done a fire drill in your house, you're doing you and your family and whoever's in your household a disservice. You really should practice. Practice makes perfect. Whether it's firefighters, military, medical, anything along those lines, everybody practices. Practice makes perfect. Practice gives you repetition. Repetition builds muscle memory. That's the whole point of doing all this. And so to have that bug out plan that you share with your family and everybody that's going to be involved in this, you have some sort of code word or some sort of set up, alarm or something that when it goes off, everybody has their job to do. You know that you need to grab A, your partner grabs B, the kids grab C and D. Where is the house? Where do you exit your house? Where do you go once you've exited? What do you grab before you exit? Whose job is it to get the dog and the cat? Who is it that grabs the food, the medical, the weaponry, anything along those lines? And so to sit down and formulate a plan and to get everybody prepared, that was, in my opinion, the goal of his video. And that's going to be the goal of my video too. We are us that get on YouTube and make this content for you to enjoy. This right here is us doing our best to get you thinking and to try and teach you. And my channel in particular is for the new and beginning preppers. So if you are new to this channel, welcome. Go ahead and do the YouTube stuff, hit the like, subscribe, share this with others so that way I can help them along their journey. But this right here is something that there's not a whole lot of content that I have seen out there that really does this justice. Everybody, in my opinion, that I see, they either go one way, which is they take it serious, they go down the middle, and this is just something that's kind of like a hobby, or they go down the other path and they just LARP it. And for the people that don't know what LARPing is, that's live action role playing. So that just means that they want the end of the world to basically be Call of Duty or whatever. So you could really kind of take all three and combine them. And let me, talk this out before you disagree with me. The people that take it very seriously, yes, absolutely, it's what all of us need to be doing. We need to take it as serious as possible. But don't take it so serious that you burn yourself out. It's very easy to do. You get prepper fatigue. I have made a video on this. The people that do this as a pastime, as a hobby, you're not doing it as serious enough, but you're doing it better than the people that are just pretending. So that right there, you probably want to prep serious enough to get that repetition to where this becomes part of your routine. Not just a hobby, but you mash the two together. You make it to where prepping is an everyday thing. And then you move over to the people that are just pretending. They want to have all the weaponry, the grenades, all the whatever. They want to do this, and I don't know if most of them don't realize that there's no reset button in life. So, do you need to tactically prepare for that? Actually, in my opinion, yeah. You need to be that prepared in a defensive offensive thing, so that way you have that posture and that skill and that talent that you can utilize. Now, all of your prep is not geared towards running out into the battlefield, waving a flag and shooting your AR all over the place. But if the situation arises, you need to be tactically prepared for it. Are you comfortable with a firearm? Are you comfortable aiming? Are you comfortable at night and not particularly good weather conditions? And when it's raining, when it's snowing, when it's really muddy outside, are you comfortable in all of that? If not, I would encourage you, find an outdoor range. When everybody else does not want to go because it's miserable outside, that's a perfect time for you to go. So that way you can see how well your firearm does in those conditions. How well do you perform in those conditions? So you need to have a piece of this, you need to have a piece of the metal, and you need to have a piece of this. And you need to push them all together. You need to take each area of prepping and you need to make sure that you are spreading evenly. I see it a lot, especially with new preppers, that they get into a certain niche, a certain category, and that suddenly is where they have the biggest, what do you want to call it? The biggest enjoyment of all of it, you know. So you get somebody with fire. Well, they have a spindle bow, and they have a fire drill. They have magnesium. They have ferro rods. They have matches. They have lighters. They have steel wool. They have flint. They have all this stuff, and they just keep buying and buying and buying and stacking and stacking and stacking, and that's great. But what about all the other stuff? You know, and there is exceptions to the rule. So if you are a medical professional, you went to school, you learned, you continue to learn, you're in that profession, that field where you are a medical professional, it's, in my opinion, perfectly fine for you to stock up on a bunch of medical supplies. You know, you're going to utilize that. But I caution you to make sure that you don't go so far overboard that you forget the basics and the necessities such as food, water, and things like that. Don't get into the thing to where you buy a knife and another knife and another knife and another knife, and then SHTF happens and you have 3 bottles of water and 1 can of corn. Okay, it's not a good idea. Spread it out. I know money's tight for a lot of people, myself included. I'm not rich by any means. Do 1 week or one paycheck and put it down as a category. Medical. This paycheck, I have X amount of dollars. All of it's going to be spent on medical. The next paycheck, you're going to say that I'm going to do food. Whatever extra I have after my bills and everything is taken care of, I'm going to use X amount of dollars to buy food. And you keep going and you keep going. And then once you get to all the categories are covered, you come back to the beginning and you do it again. And you keep prepping and you keep filling and you keep finding those holes and you plug them. You plug away at all your holes, and trust me, there's people. You know, if you watch any of these people, whether it's Bear from Bear Independent, Magic, Pinball, any of these guys, they've been doing this for a very long time, and they will tell you they're still not 100% prepared in their opinion. They want to be more prepared. There's things they still want to do. You know, I'm the same way. I'm not 100% prepared. You know, am I prepared enough? Yeah, I think I could survive, depending on the situation, for quite a while. You know, could I put myself in a better situation? Absolutely, I could. And that's what I'm striving for. I still have things I need to learn. There's still weaknesses that I have that I'm trying to educate myself and get the supplies and gear needed to better strengthen myself in those areas. So I encourage you, try the exercise. And if it's too much, a minute is just not. Start out at a time that you feel comfortable with. Try 5 minutes. Hit a bell. Everybody scatters and gets what they need. You grab this, they grab that. Everybody vacates the house, gets to either the vehicle that everybody agrees on, or they have a meeting point, the southwest part of the house by the big tree, and hit the button and see how long it takes you. Did you do it less than 5 minutes? If you did, perfect. If you didn't, try again. See what took the longest. Why did you fail? But if you succeeded, try 4 minutes. See if you can shrink it down. The faster you can get stuff, everything that you need, and bug out and get out of your house, the better chance you have. And so I encourage you, follow this and give it a shot. This is one of them things. I know that this is going to be a Sunday video, and depending on when I put this out, it's probably going to be mid-afternoon to evening, so maybe this weekend's not a good idea, but maybe Monday through Friday, it's a good idea to sit down with the family and discuss your bug out plan and to put it down on paper if you don't have one. And then this weekend, take a half hour, whatever, and put it into place. Now, real quick, before I wrap this up, make sure that you do not freak people out. If you live in a apartment complex, which I know a few of you do that have reached out to me with questions, if you live in an apartment complex, make sure you think things through that you and your family do not grab a bunch of book bags and armfuls of everything, grabbing the cat as it meows, its head off, and everybody's got a firearm sticking off their back, and you go jetting outside. You're probably going to have a neighbor call the police. Okay, so make sure that some of that stuff you're going to probably have to get a little creative on, if you get my drift on that. Some of you, you may have to substitute a rifle for a broomstick or whatever, but you still need to find a way to practice. Even if you break it up, grab the stuff in the house and get to the door. Okay, that took me 35 seconds. That gives me 25 seconds to get from the door to wherever. Make sure that you practice with your gear too. Just because you go, well, we're going to need X, Y, Z of water, so that roughly brings it out to 2 cases. Okay, yes, I can pick 2 cases of water up. Can you get from here 3 blocks away, running in a panic, in chaos with your entire family, other people running? Can you do that? Okay, there's a lot of people that they don't think it all the way through. So make sure you're realistic. Make sure you're honest with yourself. Your life is really going to depend on you being open and honest with yourself. So with that, I want to let everybody to enjoy their weekend. Happy Sunday. Remember to remain united. We're all prepping in this together.